And I assume you started playing baseball very young.
Right when I was around 3 years old.
Okay. And then you went to Curry College, and
Yep.
then you ended up playing for the New York Mets organization. How did you get into that?
Yeah, so after college I ended up going to play in independent league in the American Association for the Gary Railcats.
Hmm.
So I ended up doing that for 2019. COVID happened in 2020, and then 2021, about a month into the season, um, I was getting ready to go on a road trip, and they brought me into the office and said, "Hey, we're not bringing you on this road trip because we just got off the phone with the New York Mets, and they bought your contract." I was like, "Cool." So I was like, "Oh, now I gotta at this point pack everything up." And I was on Central Time too because I was in Gary, Indiana, and they told me at like 11:30 at night, like 11:45. So obviously, I'm first ever affiliate contract. Like, who am I gonna call? I'm gonna call my parents.
Hmm.
So I think every parent is worried when they get a phone call at 1 o'clock in the morning, and they're like, "Is everything okay?" Like it's like a Monday night too, so they're like, "Is everything okay?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, wake up, Dad. And they're like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yes." Put on speaker, told them news. They're like, "Oh my God, like that's great." My mom's first reaction was like, "Oh my God, like, congrats," like stuff like that. Like, "You're not driving tonight, are you?" I'm like, "Mom, it's 1 a.m." I'm like, or midnight. No. I gotta pack up my locker and then I gotta go back to my host family, pack up all that stuff, and then leave the next morning.
Hmm.
So they're like, "Oh, that's great, blah, blah, blah." So like they fall back asleep. 30 minutes later, it kicks in like, "Oh my God, he just got signed," and everything like that. So that was funny. That was a funny moment. But yeah, it just kind of was a roller coaster from there. I mean, went to low A, then high A, end of the year there, 22, started in high A, ended in double A. With a stint in triple A for a little bit, 2023, double A, then triple A back and forth majority of the year. 2024 um, was starting double A, triple A, double A, and then back in triple A. And then that's when I got released. And then from there, took the summer off, kind of was trying to figure out what I was going to do at that point.
Hmm.
Ended up going to the Atlantic League in the Northeast, playing independent ball there. Did that at the end of 2024, all of 2025. And then I was getting ready to go play international, whether it was Mexico, in the Dominican, or overseas in like South Korea or whatever. Got a message from one of the people at the Banana Ball front office or fans first and said, "Hey, we think you'd be a great fit for this league. Come try out, see what happens." And the rest is history.
Okay. Did they say how they found you?
Uh yeah, I mean they did their research, like they checked out like the independent leagues and stuff like that because for banana ball is you can really go after guys that are under contract within the
Hmm.
major league organizations because they're binding for about six or 7 years depending on how old you are. And from there, because independent ball is a year-to-year deal. So after that I was technically a free agent. So they're like, "Hey, it's easier to kind of bring him in and stuff like that." And then they keep track of the stats, like who's got this, who's got that, who's an affiliate ball, who's not. So they do their research.
Okay. So at that time when they asked you, did you know what banana ball was, or did you have to do research?
Um, I knew what it was, and it was one of those where I was not proud to say I knew what it was, as in being like from the baseball purist standpoint, I thought it was more of like these guys are labeling themselves professional baseball players. It's kind of like they're not making a mockery of the game, but it was more of like I never watched a game until I did a tryout, so I never knew like the only things I saw was on the social media. Like I see like the TikTok dances, I'd see something else like silly, and I thought it was like super corny, and I'm like, no way, blah blah. Then I finally watched a game, and I end up watching a playoff game, and I was like, okay, like this actually makes more sense. There's more adrenaline, there's more like emotion which is being played. And as I kind of got older, where early on in my career, it was more of what can the game do for me to kind of get to the higher levels. So it's kind of like it was more like not selfish in a way, but it was more of like how can I benefit from this?
Hmm.
And then as I've gotten older, now it turns into how can I give back to the game? And now that's kind of realized like what Banana Ball is about making impact, connecting with people, fans, inspiring the next generation, stuff like that. So as I've like been around Banana Ball more, like you start to see like honestly, you make more of an impact in Banana Ball than you do in the minor leagues for people, to be honest.
Hmm.
And the cool part too is like we still get to play in major league stadiums. We get to play in sold out venues. Like this past weekend, we were on ESPN on Coors Field, and we had the probably one of the best banana ball games ever in history, which is really cool. So like the cool part was I was able to pitch in that moment, and I'm getting videos, photos from like all my friends, like, dude, you're at the bar on ESPN right now. This is crazy and stuff like that. So, and it was really cool. So that's kind of like you get moments like that as well that like I would have never imagined as a kid.
Hmm.
So, or even being in affiliate ball, like you never got to experience a moment like that, like seeing Coors Field with 50,000 fans screaming. Like
Hmm.
that's what you dream about, like trying to make it to the major leagues. Like you want that atmosphere. And to be honest, when you're some major league stadiums aren't even sold out like that. The only time you're going to get a sold out venue where everyone's locked in is probably the World Series or the playoffs.
Hmm.
So
Yeah, that's a
really,
crazy experience.
yeah. So
Which is
I'm
why
still
I'm talking
recovering
to
from
you.
that.
I want to know all about it. Um,
Mhm.
so I did see too that you got pitcher of the month. Was that for the
Mhm.
month of March or
Yeah.
April?
It was March.
March, okay.
Yeah.
And then the stats I see 15 innings pitched, a .6 ERA, 12
Hmm.
strikeouts. Those are right.
Yep, that was in March.
That is impressive. Is that kind of the stuff that you look up when you were in baseball, not banana ball? Like, are you researching these guys' stats?
Oh yeah, at times because you're trying to figure out too, like being a competitive person, like the competitive nature is still there. If anything, now it's more amplified
Hmm.
because now like it's on a bigger platform. You want to do well and stuff like that. Like for me, like I'm not the dancing type. Well, I like to dance, but it's not good. Like I definitely need to learn how to dance better. So it's like for me, it's like if I'm trying to not become more popular, but it's one of those like if I'm trying to be more well known
Hmm.
and I'm not the best at dancing, so like I'm not going to be in those like the social media stuff. So I gotta let my playing do the talking, where people know, oh, hey, we got this guy playing, and that's the cool part too. It's where I've had some dad or like some older men that are like very baseball purists. They're like, oh, we're only here because of my grandkid or whatever. But like I loved how you pitch with the demeanor, the competition, like still going like the baseball side of competition. Like that's a cool bit too, trying to reel them in as well. So when they see stuff like that, you're like, oh, okay, like it's not just for a single crowd, it's for everybody. And that's essentially what Jesse's goal is to make everybody come together and enjoy some part of the show, whether it's the entertainment. Like over the weekend, we had Kristen Bell singing Frozen, which was really cool.
Oh.
And then you had the competition side where we had showdowns, which was like the craziest concept in the world, where it was just the pitcher and the hitter. And if the ball's put in play, the pitcher has to go run to get the ball, and the outfielder has to run around the bases in time. And it was just super like that all eyes are on that. So it's like really cool moments like that where it brings everybody together, which is I think a really cool moment.
Okay. Those are some things I really want to get into with you too.
Yeah.
But I want to rewind back to when they contacted you,
Hmm.
recruiting you. Did you still have to go to a tryout for them to watch you?
Yes. So they told me I could be in the draft pool if I wanted to,
Okay.
but they were having a draft coming up. So it was like we had two new expansion teams, the Coconuts and the Clowns, which the Clowns I'm now on.
Hmm.
And they said, hey, um, if you go to a tryout and you're in front of the coaches, it's going to help your chances of getting drafted higher in this draft. And when you get drafted higher in the rounds, it means more money. So it was one of those where it's like you're probably going to be in the league, but we just can't guarantee which round you'd go in. So we suggest going to a tryout where they see your personality in person, so they're able to kind of figure out how would you fit with the team, how would you fit with the culture and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I think that was the biggest thing where I was like, yeah, I mean, I'm down to go to try. I'm down to go travel somewhere. I love to travel. So they gave me four locations to choose from because they had four tryouts. It was, I want to say over 2,000 people applied online. You took fill out a waiver first. But because I had AAA experience and stuff like that, they were like, just tell us what tryout you want to go to and we'll have a spot for you. I was like, perfect. And it was like the four locations were Savannah, Nashville, Dallas, and LA. And they said, pick whichever one. So I picked the Nashville one, flew out to Nashville on Monday, try out Tuesday, fly back Wednesday. So that was like my first taste of banana ball between doing like the Hey Baby dance
Hmm.
and everything else.
Hmm. And you were picked in the second round, right?
Hmm.
So
Yep.
you're up there, boy.
Yeah. Trying to be.
Out of all the stadiums that you've been able to travel to so far, which one would you say is the bougiest?
Ooh, bougie. Because here's the tough part. Like anytime we played the bananas, we've been in the major league stadium. So
Mhm.
that's been very cool. Like I want to try to separate it from like the major league stuff from the minor leagues because obviously you're going to say major league stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, honestly, my favorite field to be at this year so far was honestly Coors Field. Like that, seeing like obviously LA, like the Angels was pretty cool too. Like it was pretty bougie. But from like the minor league side, Um, Round Rock, Texas was good because that was a nice AAA stadium. I'm trying to think of who else. Memphis was cool. Trying to think of what else. There were some really good clubhouses too. That was nice. Montgomery, they had the biggest clubhouse, so that was nice. But it's all blended in at this point too. Like you don't realize you're going since February, so it's just like you were at this, were we at this?
Have you
So
ever played close to home, like back in Massachusetts?
yes, so we played in Hartford, Connecticut, coming off the All-Star break. So that was Hartford, Connecticut was like an hour and a half from me.
Hmm.
So that was technically my hometown game, which the cool part too is like normally for Banana Ball, we're allowed 2 tickets per game, four in major league stadiums. And from there, because it's a hometown series, our hometown series, we're allowed 100 tickets for the weekend.
Hmm.
So being a pitcher, I was just like, hey, what day am I starting? And they told me the date, and I was like, okay, my hometown date is going to be this game. I'm getting 100 tickets. So it was honestly, it was funny. I had to kind of plan it like a wedding party. I was like, okay, here's the link. I go, this person's getting this many tickets. This person's getting this many, vice versa. They're getting this. And if anybody else wants to come, they got to buy them elsewhere, all that stuff. So it was essentially a wedding party for one I was trying to plan.
And I can imagine everyone that knows you is like, "Can I get tickets? Can I get tickets?"
Oh yeah, especially with how affordable it is too. But like the secondary market too, they're like, oh, like I see like $500. Is there a discount code? I was like, I got to make a video explaining like how to get tickets at the reasonable price too. So that's been super
Oh,
helpful for a lot of people.
okay. Are you one of those people? Because being in a banana ball, you have to be so social all the time and you're interacting with fans and your
Yeah.
teammates. Do you have a social battery where it's like at the end of the day, you got to be alone and just recharge?
Yeah, there's definitely times like I'm definitely a social person, but the issue is there's definitely times where you're absolutely drained.
Hmm.
Um, because we have a pregame meeting, we have a VIP meeting, and then even sometimes after the games, like if we're in the minor league stadium, we have post game like socialization with people and stuff like that. So that's kind of where like it gets a lot at first, but like you're so used to it too, and it's just if you're just naturally a friendly person, it's just gonna click. Like you'll
Hmm.
have some shy people that you kind of have to go out of the way for a little bit, but
Yeah.
normally, I mean, there's one or two times where I'm like, hey, like if I'm not feeling well or like I didn't get enough sleep, I'm like, I'm gonna have to put on a brave face here and make it work. Because like obviously, this like some people drive hours, like 8 hours to get to these games and stuff like that. So
Hmm.
it's you're doing them a disservice if you're not there mentally 100%. So it's kind of like it's funny. They're like, yeah, you can't show up to work hungover and stuff like that. So it's like I'm trying to make sure I get good sleep so I can socialize, make sure I'm hydrated. Because like we're in full uniform and sometimes too in like where our games are in the south, like it's hot. Like in 4th of July, it was a 95, I think 98 degrees with like 70% of humidity, and it was brutal.
Holy cow.
And you still got to go pitch. Like I had to go pitch that game, and I was like my legs were shaking, and like post game applause, like I felt like I walked out there, and some of the fans told me like, hey, like you don't like look good. Like you feel
Oh,
like, are you okay? And I'm like, I'm laboring a little bit. Like I'm not feeling too hot. And they're like, all right, like they were just like, just go rest up. Like we want to see you, but like we want to make sure you're not going to the hospital at this point. So I'm like, fair.
oh, that's sweet.
Yeah, like they care. Like the fans travel well too. Like they're always on social media reaching out and stuff like that too. So it's nice. I mean, they some of them get it, but also too like you on the player side, we understand how much coming to these games means for the people.
Right. The whole fans first thing. And then I
It
think
really
when
is.
fans know that, they're like, okay, we put you guys first too.
Yeah, I mean, we make sure that like there's a lot of things like that's the one thing too where in the minor leagues like not people really socialize. But like for me, it's like I get bored and like I can't stand awkward silence for a long period of time. So like I have to say something.
Hmm.
Like I'll even be like, "Oh, how's I don't know about this weather today. This is crazy," or something like that. Like, "Oh, hey, how's your day going?" Something like that. Like I just can't like sit still, like just feeling someone right there and just like they want to talk and like you're just like, oh, like just sitting there awkward silence. I'm like, I gotta say something.
Yeah, let me say something new. That's
Exactly.
perfect though. That's exactly what this kind of organization needs is the
Yeah.
people who are willing to talk. What's the
Yeah.
team dynamic like? Since it's pro ball, but it's fun. Do you have like college where you have captains and leaders, or is everyone
Mhm.
just kind of an independent adult?
Yeah. So are you talking more of just our clowns team specifically or the organization?
The Clowns. Well, I guess
The
if it's
Clowns,
different in both.
well, yeah, I mean, I mean, we're still professionals at, like, no matter what we're doing, whether it's professional ball player, whether it's entertainment, stuff like that, like we have to be a professional at our job. Like we still make sure like we hold each other accountable and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But for the clown side, I mean, the name clowns, you can kind of already guess like there's a lot of bantering, there's a lot of like joking around, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, where in terms of us playing, like we're very like when it comes to like before the game, like goofy, joking around, all that, like we're very sociable, like cracking jokes, doing pranks. But when it's time to play, it's like a, a switch is just flipped in just game mode. And that's like what I love about these guys where no matter what the situation is, like we'll flip that switch quick and it's like it's go time. Like we'll be like ragging on each other, like arguing, bickering back and forth. But then when it's game time, it's hey, like we're going to war. Like let's go. Like snap
You're
out of it. Um, and then but also too, it's like a lot of our guys are older too. I mean, we've had a former major leaguer in Jackie Bradley Jr., who's a professional, like big league, won multiple World Series, All Star, all that stuff, and probably one of the best human beings to join this league. Like with all his accolades, he wouldn't have to like you would expect a guy like him to be like, oh, I don't want to go do dancing, I don't want to go do this, and
Mhm.
he's signing in line for every single person, talking to everybody,
Oh,
like going the extra mile, and it's honestly it puts the pressure on everybody else. Where like if he's doing it, you got to go do it because he has way more accolades than you, so you better go do it. And a lot of us are older too, coming from affiliate ball as well. So like we have a good mix of like older guys as well as guys like fresh out of college. So it's a good kind of blend where like the college guys like, oh, you played in Double A, you played in Triple A, you played in the major leagues. So now it's like if they're watching how the older guys do it, so it's a nice little blend of both. Like it's a learning curve still because it's the balance of professional baseball as well as entertainment.
hmm.
So the dynamic is fun. But we definitely hold ourselves accountable. Like if somebody's acting out of line, like we one will yell at them, but two, it's like we'll rag on them a little bit too. We'll
Yes.
be like, oh, look at this guy aura farming. Oh, he's only here for the clicks or something like that. So it's just like little things like that.
To be on the Clowns team,
Hmm.
besides like juggling, are there any other clown things you guys had to be able to do to be on that specific team?
Um, yes and no. I mean, obviously being good defensively, trying to do trick plays. Jesse is very adamant about us as the Clowns. Like we represent so much, as in the history of the Negro Leagues, as well as the barnstorming tours, where the Clowns were essentially what the Bananas were doing, but the Clowns walked for the Bananas to run essentially, which was like they were doing barnstorming in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and then kind of became like the Harlem Globetrotters. But the difference is with the Globetrotters and the Bananas is that the Globetrotters focused more on the entertainment side and became complacent, kind of like the same show over and over, which is like why Jesse so good at what he does is that you never see the same show twice. There's always new celebrations, there's new skits, everything like that, and they're always finding ways.
Hmm.
And I think now, like coming for the Clowns coming back, it's like a nice little homage and everything like that. Like we have an old time baseball player. He dresses in full uniform, like wool clothes and everything. We have a rodeo clown who's doing cartwheels, backflips when he plays, stuff like that. So it's like we're still being serious, but we're also having a goofy side while we're playing too. And I think that's the biggest thing as well. Because a good show for Banana Ball is also good baseball being played too. So it's the mixture of balancing both the good gameplay as well as the good entertainment.
Hmm.
So.
You have all of this history down. Are you a history buff, or did you just like learn all this and remember it?
It's a little bit of both. I mean, I'm a baseball junkie. Like I love baseball stats, information, stuff like that. But then learning more about the Clowns, like I was always fascinated with the Negro Leagues, but I never knew the depths behind it. And
Hmm.
then once we went to Kansas City and we were able to do the tour of the Negro League Museum, that was really cool to see. And representing a team like the Clowns, it's one of those where it's bigger than the sport and it's bigger than like race and everything like that because everyone's like, oh, it's a black team and stuff like that. But if you really look at the bigger picture, it's more of the Negro Leagues themselves were doing stuff they were doing stuff before Major League Baseball was like nighttime games, playing internationally and stuff like that. A lot of the style of play from the Negro Leagues kind of inspired and transformed into what the Major League Baseball is today, like the home runs, the passion, the flair, all that stuff is rooted from the Negro Leagues and stuff and everything like that. So I think it's a really cool of like educating the crowd now
Hmm.
at that point too, because we don't have a specific theme for what the Clowns is. If I were to put it into words, I would say it's more of a like each team has their own theme. Like the Bananas are more theatrical and everything like that. The Party Animals are wild.
Yeah.
Firefighters are same thing. Like they're kind of on the boat. The Tailgaters are very country. The local beach is very like laid back vibes. For us, I'd say it's legacy because
Hmm.
we're spanning decades of stuff between oldies, between soul, hip hop, rap, anything like culture. Like I'd say it's legacy more than anything. Like it's all that tied together. So we have such a wide variety and a wide target audience to get fans from.
Yeah. That's kind
So
of cool to hear it like that because when I think clowns, I'm like, okay, circus, red hair, big
mhm.
nose. But now knowing all of this, like I had no idea.
Yeah, I
That's
mean that's the
smart.
thing too. A lot of people like they realize that they're like, oh, we just thought like you're a circus team, and like,
Yeah.
no, like here's the thing, like in a way we are circus like, as in like doing funny stunts, like doing cartwheels, flips, and like that's part of the circus. It's like acrobatics,
Hmm.
but it's also like that's what got it because like I think the name clowns originated from like us like kind of goof like the not us but like the teams like the original clowns like they were doing like stuff like that like they weren't playing fundamental baseball they would do like theatrical stuff and like have some flair to it which made it more like circus like
Yeah.
and that's where like the name clowns originally came from.
Okay. Good to know. Is there some kind of banana ball history site that people can go read all this on?
um I honestly don't know. I know there's a book I actually got it right here. um So some are called clowns. It's like the history, or I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, some are called clowns. I don't even know, but maybe I can do this. Maybe that'll work. No.
I'll attach a photo.
Yeah. So it's like it's called Some Are Called Clowns. So it's by Bill Heward, which the one thing that we really take pride in as a team, and especially as like a company, fans first, is that so Bill Heward was the last coach for the Clowns in the 70s before they formally disbanded, before we kind of revitalized it.
Hmm.
And we met Bill. Bill came to Savannah and talked to us like within our first week of practice and stuff like that. And Bill's traveled on the road with us many a times. Like Bill's considered a teammate for us. He connects the bridge from the past clowns, like way back in the day, with his former teammates to now, like telling stories of what it was like and stuff like that. And it's essentially passing on the torch or connecting the bridge for everything. Where like sometimes some places we go, like some of his old teammates stop by. Some of them stop by multiple times, so we see them again. We're like, hey, like what's going on? Good to see you again, and stuff like that. And like stuff like that is where you kind of realize where how much the traveling, like kind of like an alumni essentially, like being proud for like being from that school and stuff like that, where these guys were taking times away from their family, playing or barnstorming at such a little fare to make sure like they could still keep a dream going and everything like that. Where like it's cool to see Bill consider the team, but like he gave like the full blown history of the team like in that book and like kind of telling stories of what it was like back in the day and everything. So that was really cool, like kind of read about. And I watched a documentary called Never Drop the Ball, and that was kind of about the history of the Negro Leagues and how it's inspired the baseball today being played and stuff like that. So I kind of took the thing of both and kind of put it together. And that's where most of my history comes from.
Okay, wow. That's awesome that you know all that. And now, well, like when people watch this, they're gonna be like, "Oh my gosh, just like me." When it comes to all the teams, the coconuts, firefighters, bananas, do you guys have rivalries?
um, I mean, it's kind of like I would say the Bananas kind of like the Yankees, where it's like obviously the Bananas have been there the longest, so like there's always an added chip on the shoulder when you play the Bananas because they're playing in always like major league stadiums, and everyone's always showing out for them. So for us, it's like one, we want to beat them because like everyone they're the most famous team, like the notoriety. It's like everybody always wanted to beat the Yankees,
Hmm.
but it's also too, it's like you want to convert some of their fans to us, to our fan base now,
Yeah.
to show it, hey, it's not just the Bananas, it's everybody else in the league. So I mean, the Bananas, you always have a chip on the shoulder, but then it's also fun too, where like we're so close with some of the teams, where like we get along with them so good, but then when it comes to playing the game, it's like, oh, like now it's kind of like a sibling, like we're gonna talk our trash, but still play and have fun with it. And then after the game, it's not gonna be no hard feelings. We're just gonna hang out in the locker room afterwards and
Hmm.
stuff like that. But no, I wouldn't say there's any too much rivalries at that point. I mean, there's a lot of competition for sure. Like there's definitely very competitive games.
Right.
Like we have some very competitive games with the firefighters. Like whenever we get together with them, it's always a fun time. Like because we're very close with them too, because our locker rooms are right next door to each other.
Hmm.
So whenever we play, it's like all like we're gonna talk our trash and like everyone like knows each other from that too. So it's like it's a nice little like friendly competition for sure.
Yeah. That's good. That's fun.
Oh yeah.
When it comes to social media, because you
Hmm.
guys are posting all the time, not just the clowns page, but like each
Hmm.
player individually,
Yeah.
is there a rule where you have to post once a day to be on the team, or is that you guys just doing your own thing?
That's just us doing our own thing. Like people ask me like it's one of those, how would you describe being in banana ball? And I said it's honestly it's three full-time jobs into one.
Yeah. That's what it
You
looks
got you got
like.
you got the professional baseball aspect, and then I mean you could say entertainer, but I'd say more of a content creator. Then I say like video editing. Because like
Hmm.
sometimes like we gotta edit our own videos and stuff like that. So like I've been learning this year more like how to handle social media. Like we all talk to each other too. Like, hey, you see the new trend on Instagram, or hey, you see like the algorithms change for social media for it's this. Like we're paying attention to social media. Like it's the stock market at times.
Hmm.
Like knowing because if you catch on the right trend at the right time, like you can easily blow up in followers. And then once you start blowing up in followers, now you got more companies that are small businesses that want to work with you. And
Hmm.
now it turns into a business plan too. It's like if you do if you do a post with this company or you collab with this, like you get paid out this amount of money, it's extra revenue for you at that point. So
Hmm.
it's more of it's to your benefit if you want to post.
Hmm.
So yeah, no, they don't force us to post, but they're like that's how you keep fans and stuff like that and stay engaged, everything like that. Because fans, that's a way to connect with fans. Like fans get to see who you are as a person.
Hmm.
So
Yep.
yeah, there's no requirement.
Okay. Good to know. And I see how that's how they fall in love with you. That's how they buy
Hmm.
your jersey. They're like, oh, I
Exactly.
saw you do that one TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, they probably see you at that point, like they probably see you like once or twice a year for games, and then all of a sudden, like on social media, they'll try, like post them. And if we comment, they're like, "Oh, I didn't even realize you were on your phone." I'm like, "Yeah, like I'm still a regular person. Like I'm not
Hmm.
anything crazy."
What are
So,
some really special moments you've had with fans?
geez, all right.
I know there's
There,
probably
there,
a lot.
no, there is, but no, there was one that like really hit home recently. So this is back in May, and we're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I hope you got some tissues near you because this is gonna be a sad one. So we were in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we're playing the Tailgaters, and they told us before the first game, they said, "Hey, we have a little girl. I'm not going to say her name. Um, she's 9 years old, and her dad's deployed overseas, and she has terminal cancer, but she doesn't know she has terminal cancer, and her little brother doesn't know. And part of a soldier's wish was they wanted to come to a banana ball game, so they flew them out in person, so they came to watch the game. Both teams got to spend some time with her, got to talk to her, and like she at that time she was kind of non. She wasn't really as talkative, like, but you could tell like the illness is kind of taking a toll on her. But she had an older brother who was 12, so like he would do a lot of talking and stuff like that, so he was enjoying it. And after the game ended, the tailgaters had a signed jersey to give to her, and we didn't. And I was like, you know what? I go, you know what I'm gonna do? I got an idea. So I go to my locker. I have an extra pair of cleats. I only wore them once. They were completely clean. And I wore them for the first pitch in Clown's history because I started the game. So I had game worn cleats, stuff like that. So I had our team sign the cleats. And I was like, you know what? After this game, I'm going to go up to the suite, give them to her for the family. And so the game ends. I didn't tell any of the media or anything like that. I'm walking up the elevator, and our media lady's like, why do you got cleats? I said, oh, I'm going up to the suite. And she's like, are you giving those to them? I said, yeah. All right, let's go. So we go up the elevator, and I come in the suite. I start talking to the family and stuff like that. And I said, oh, well, thank you for coming out. I know the tailgaters gave you a jersey, but how about some game equipment? Like here's my cleats from our first ever game. And it was the most sound I've heard her make the whole time, like all excited, stuff like that. And this is funny, but messed up humor. Her older brother goes, because he didn't know about her condition, neither did she. They just knew that they're going to the doctors a lot. And he goes, oh my goodness. He goes, I'm so taking those later. So I'm like, oh no, trying to keep a straight face for that. And then this was in May. And then I found out recently, about 3 weeks ago, that she had passed away.
Oh,
And yeah, so that was a really tough one too. Because like you could tell like she was so excited like for the cleats and stuff like that. And we had found out that the stuff that we gave her was being buried with her in her casket. So like so you realize how much of an impact, like even if it's just meeting them one time and stuff like that, like how much you have an impact on these fans, whether it's one time and stuff like that. But yeah, that's a moment that really hit for me. That's probably my most like impactful moment that like really stands out. And it wasn't more about just like, oh, that's so nice of you. I think it's just more about just doing the right thing. Where I had another lady 2 weeks ago, she came up to me and she was like, I've always wanted to come to a banana boat games, but on my bucket list because I know I don't have much time left. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, I have stage 4 cancer. Of like, oh shit, like I'm sorry. I was like,
no,
oh, like I'm
you're
so sorry and stuff like that. I was like, hey, like where are your seats? I'll come say hi to you during the game. So they're in the suite or whatever, and I couldn't find her at the suite. I'm walking around, and she ended up in the owner's suite. So we start talking, and it's at the seventh thing. I said, hey, I need you to come with me. She's like, why? I go, bring your friend. Let's go. No, she's like, all right. So we go down the elevator. She's like, where are we going? I said, we're going onto the field. She's like, wait, what? I'm like, yeah. So in like the seventh or eighth inning that we always do, no matter what team, there's a song, like we stop, we turn off the lights, have the flashlight, and we sing a song together.
hmm
So I brought her on the field with her friends and stuff like that. And we kind of like, it was ironically enough, it was just three little birds, like every little thing is going to be all right. So like I brought her in the dugout. She was meeting everybody and all that stuff. And she was like super thrilled about it. And she's like, I didn't like, I was just happy to come to the game. I was not expecting to come on the field and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, like, no, I said, I mean, obviously it's not ideal having stage 4 cancer or anything. So, I mean, at least make it a memorable moment.
hmm
And she's like, oh, that must be so rewarding for stuff like that. I go, honestly, we don't chase the rewarding feeling. It's just more of knowing it's the right thing to do at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
hmm
Like, even if it's out of the way and stuff like that, but like, it's gonna mean more. And you're gonna know that you can go to sleep at night knowing that you did the right thing.
hmm
So I told you to have tissues around, but
Yeah. No, that humbleness reminds me. You posted a video just recently, and it was a silly video with your teammates, and you're like, "Who's changed the most since they hit 10?"
yeah,
So
yeah,
now
yeah,
I'm like, yes, you can see like, haha, silly because you get famous and you think you're cool, but
yeah,
this really shows that you guys are so humble about it still,
yeah.
and you still
Like,
do this for the fans.
oh yeah, like we're very happy that everyone's like getting famous or like being known and stuff like that. But there's definitely a time of like, hey, like my buddies, I love them to death. They will keep me in place so quick. Like my buddies will check me so fast, and we kind of do that with each other too. Like for like the team, it's like if we don't want somebody's ego to get too high, we're like, hey, like yes, you got all this notoriety, but like, hey, let's like you don't want to let the fame get to you because if you do, now it's going to turn to bad publicity and everything like that too. So,
hmm
but no, I mean it's good. Like the guys that get it. Obviously, you still have younger guys that kind of at times get like the little bit like this, but
hmm
everything kind of works themselves out in a way.
Okay. Well, sweet. I want to end the interview with one last thing.
All right.
Zoom's gonna turn off in 5 minutes because I don't
Yeah,
pay for it.
yeah, I see the timer, so I'm like trying to keep it like close.
No, you're good. I was like, if it ends, I'll just call him back. But
Yeah.
I like to end all my interviews with a motivational
hmm
quote or anything you have. It could be towards people who maybe want to become a player. It can be
hmm
towards Bananas fans, people who don't know about it. Just anything to be inspiring. What would you say?
Anything to be inspiring. I mean, there's a cliche. Like one of my favorite quotes is, "Anytime there's adversity or whatever." Like I always say, like the sun will still rise the next day regardless. So you could have the worst day in the world, storms, everything like that, but you know the next day, no matter what, the sun will still rise the next day. And it's a whole new day.
hmm
It's just one of those you just got to keep pushing. Like time will not stop for you. So no matter if you're stuck in a place of like I want to do this, but I don't know what to do. I'm not happy. The time's still gonna go. And if you're feeling stuck, then like you gotta find a way to get yourself out of it. Where if you're worried about repercussions for what you do, time won't wait for you. So you might as well go enjoy yourself and take that leap of faith because you never know what's gonna happen. Which I'm gonna leave a cliffhanger on this one. What got me into professional baseball was I was actually working a 9 to 5 sales job post college before before getting back into baseball, and I was miserable. I quit my sales job after a 5 day bender in Vegas, And I was like, I'm gonna go pursue pro baseball and kind of go from there.
Mhm.
And I took a $60,000 cut in pay to go travel, bust across the country on very little money. And probably it was a dumb financial decision at first, but now it's my happiness was at stake and stuff like my sanity. And now I'm looking back at it saying, one, crazy how I got to where it is now, but two, it's I made the right decision because I can go to sleep at night having peace of like what I did and took that risk.
Mhm.
And I wouldn't have been in that shoes if I was just complacent or if I was just like beating myself up for so much. You can only endure so much one way or the other. Where if you realize that time's just going to keep going, you just got to weather the storm. The storm will always pass eventually. It's just rolling with the punches and just weathering it. That's all.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, David. I appreciate you doing this with me.
Hey, no problem. Thank you.